We are proud to have today's episode sponsored by our friends at RGK. Founded in 1988, RGK Wheelchairs is a global leader in designing made-to-measure sport and daily wheelchairs. Every RGK chair is uniquely built to reflect the individuality, performance needs, and lifestyle of its user. Created from the highest quality lightweight materials, RGK chairs deliver unmatched precision, speed, and durability. Trusted by top athletes and everyday users around the world. From basketball courts to tennis courts to daily adventures, RGK's expert mobility advisors guide you through a personalized assessment to help create your perfect fit. Find out more about RGK and their impressive line of products at rgkwheelchairs.com. For the fourth episode of the Game On podcast, we are grateful to have with us our first tennis athlete, Francesco Felici. He is from Assisi, Italy, and in his first year with the Alabama Crimson Tide, won an individual national championship as well as a team national championship. He was first team All-American and had a stupendous freshman campaign, and now in his sophomore year, picking up where he left off with another stupendous start to the season. Francesco is a son to his parents, Katia and Carlo, and a brother to Filippo. Francesco, thank you so much for joining us today, bud.
Thank you, Alex, for having me.
Absolutely. It's an honor to have you. It really is. Tell us about your childhood growing up in Assisi. What was that like?
So, yeah, I grew up in a really good family. Really, my family has always supported me. And we did so many sports. We have always been so active. My parents never had a limit. You know, growing with a kid who born with disabilities, sometimes some parents can be overprotective. My parents always helped me, supported me. They never really see like a limit on the disability. They just always try to find a way for go around it, try to give me the help I need for try to perform by myself and do whatever I want. So they let me ski as a 3 years old when like every people told them you're crazy, but like my brother was skiing, my mom was skiing, my dad was skiing, and they didn't say, oh, we can't ski anymore. Now they bring me on a mountain and they find an instructor who could help me. And as a kid, I never see a limit on my life. I always see a way to find how can I do that in my own way with my disability. But that's all. So I got really lucky to have a family like that like always help me, always support me, and never see a limit on the disability, but always try to find a way for help me to perform and have a normal life. So that has been a really lucky thing to have.
That's such an important perspective to have, whether you have spinal defect or whether you have a spinal cord injury or any disability in between. It's not that you can't do something. It's that you might do something differently, but you can still do it. There's so many different ways now. I say it all the time. There's never been a better time to be disabled. Never. Across the world, here in the United States, never been a better time. And there's so many opportunities now. Like wheelchair tennis, wheelchair basketball that we have here. It's growing, it's expanding, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean the wheelchair is not just like a limit, it's something kind of help for us. I mean, let us like do things that like without a wheelchair we couldn't do. So I mean it's just a good thing, because without a wheelchair I couldn't play tennis, or we couldn't play basketball, or we couldn't compete on a high level. So the wheelchair is like what let us live our daily life in the best way and perform in our sport at the highest level.
When did you first become introduced to wheelchair tennis?
I started pretty late, to be honest, because in my town there weren't like really like close to me many like adaptive sport program. So I always swim, which I mean it's pretty easy to do because you just go in a swimming pool and you can swim. You don't need any adaptation. And then there was a guy in my town who was disabled, was older than me, but like he played basketball in a town close to me and was like 30-40 minutes from home, but my parents both were working, so they couldn't drive me. And this guy was like really helpful and drove me and introduced me in this group of guys that like will play basketball once per week. And I started like that, but after that for some reason, and you know, like as a team sport, if some player left, it's always harder. Like you need a team for play basketball. And the year after, they couldn't like keep playing basketball because some player was transferred in A division, and so there weren't much number. And most of these guys play also tennis, and that's how I started to play tennis and get introduced to tennis. And first was like once per week, and it was for fun, and I really enjoyed that. But like then I always wanted to improve more because I liked that sport, but I felt like, oh, now that I learned how to do that, I want to learn the next stuff. I was like, I really will wanted to improve, and that's how I started to practice from 1 to 10 times per week to 3 times per week to 4 times per week and 5 times per week. So step by step, I always like get more in like professional and agonistic way of the sport. And at the same time, COVID arrived on 2020, 2021, and you know, in it, like I think same in the US, but like in Italy, school was shut down and most of like activity was shut down. I got lucky because tennis as an individual sport, and already my first results were coming. I got like an exemption where I could still keep practicing during that period, and I had like 4 or 5 months where like was everything closed, and yeah, I did like online lesson and stuff like that, but like I was like locked in the house all the time, and be able to practice was like everything I had. And there is like where I really started to training really intense and improve a lot my game, because I couldn't do anything else, and that was like the only things I could go out of the house for. And I really enjoyed that, and I really fell in love with the sport, and that's how I started to get to compete, to improve my game, and then after COVID compete internationally and get my first like high level results.
So that exemption was really crucial.
Yeah.
For you to be able to practice tennis.
Yeah.
As much as you were able to over that COVID period.
And start to understand what I could reach if like with my level and my hard work. So that has been like a really like good period for me for improve my game.
That's a blessing right there.
Yeah.
That definitely is. What is the adaptive services like in Italy? Is it an easy place to have, like, because you think when I think of Italy, I think of it as a very historic country.
Yeah.
Something that I think would be, my perception would be, it would be difficult to adapt with all of the historical buildings there.
Yeah.
What is it like, not just in your town, but in Italy in general?
I mean, we have like laws that like every new building must be full accessible for sure, and old building must have ramps if they can, and they are trying to work for make them as more accessible as possible. But yeah, as you said, most of the town are like really old, and make them accessible is not that easy. But I mean, there are regulations that like I would say let you like not easily, but like in most of the building you can get access with no problem. Yeah, access to sport sometimes can be harder, but I feel like it's like in any sport in any country, because wheelchair are really expensive. Like high level performance sport wheelchair are really expensive, and so that can be like a big limit for new kids that want to start to play sport in a wheelchair, because it's a big cost for like starting a sport. So there are some foundation that like can provide you chairs, but still asking a parents to spend a big amount of money for a chair when like your kid is 5, 6, 7 years old and is growing, and you don't know if he wanna keep playing that sport. Like every kid that is 5, 6, 7 years old want to experience basketball, tennis, or I don't know how many other sport, and you don't know if that cost is gonna be used by the kid, or like maybe it's just like 2 or 3 months. So I think that's like the big limit, but it's not just in my country. I think it's like worldwide.
It's the same here.
Yeah,
it's an expensive adventure to try a sport here.
Yeah,
because like you said, you don't want to spend $5,000 on a chair.
Yeah,
and then you get in the chair and then you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's $5,000 out the window.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, for able-bodied athletes, sometimes just buy a pair of shoes, it's $50, $100 can be. A sport chair is something definitely more expensive, and as a parent, I can see why sometimes it's not that accessible to start a sport for a wheelchair guy. So yeah.
So you started playing tennis in 2019. 2019 or 2018, in that range.
Yeah.
About a year before COVID started.
Yeah.
And then you were able to ramp up during COVID.
Yeah.
And then just a few years later, you're on the Italian national team.
Yeah.
What's that ramp up like in that 3-year span from COVID to when you're on the national team?
So I mean, I didn't have many results before COVID, but I really started to have like some national results. So I was already under, like the federation was already looking after me, and they already know that like I could have some potential. So they helped me, as I said, like they gave me that exemption for keep practicing during COVID. And after COVID, I really didn't know how well could I perform, but I know that like I improved a lot my game, and I started to do first like international tournament as a junior, and they went pretty well because after like a few months I already was like in top 20 and then in top 10, and just after 1 year of competing internationally as a junior. So that's like helped me a lot to get then inside the national team, because in the first moment maybe I would say yeah, it wasn't like that high level for like a men team, but like they brought me because I was the potential I could have after a few months was like already was a was already impressive. So I was like really lucky and grateful for the like for let me in at the team and keep me practicing with like the people that like maybe were on higher level in that moment, but were my example on like where I would have what I wanted to reach and what uh, was my goal. So it was like really good to like show me what I could reach with the sport. So and after 1 year it was like I wasn't anymore just there to watch and like be a part. I was like an active player, and I was competing as like to bring in my country points for like team competition and things like that. So it was like it's been like a really good experience, to be honest.
And to represent Italy
Yeah,
on an international stage,
yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah,
That really is amazing. You're doing international tournaments quite often.
yeah,
Even while you're here
yeah.
at the University of Alabama, you have your collegiate tournament schedule, and you have your international tournament
Yeah.
schedule. Where was your first international tournament at?
Like my first like in total,
Yes.
I think was in Sardinia, because they do a pretty big tournament over there, and was like the biggest tournament close to home, and I went there just to experience because I was starting to play and I was starting to compete, and I want to know like what like the best player, I mean, were doing, and I could have reached that just with like an hour flight from home. So I was like, why not go and like see how like they practice, how they play, and how they compete, and was a really good experience. Yeah, so that was my first tournament.
Can you give us a picture of what wheelchair tennis looks like in Europe versus like in America? It's domestically, I think it's a not talked about adaptive sport. It's I think wheelchair basketball is up there here in the United States. A lot of people participate in wheelchair basketball. There's some elements of track across the country too, and there's certainly other ones that are along the way too.
Okay.
But domestically, it seems like there's a huge emphasis on tennis as well.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
So for sure, I mean, in the States also it's like really developed like wheelchair tennis, because it born here and was like I think one of the fastest growing adaptive sport of like numbers. And right now there are like more than like 600 player internationally ranked on just on a man division, and I think it's really growing. In Europe, we have more player. We are like the continent with more player, but I think it's also because there are so many like countries in one small continent and high population. So each country can develop his national teams and like his own player, while like in other continents, like in America, there are basically 2, 3 major countries, so there are a little bit less players. But in the same time, the fact that like most of like wheelchair tournaments are starting to be hosted in the same location, in the same dates, in the same everything the same as like able body is giving them a lot of more visibility, because all Grand Slams, US Open, Australian Open, Wimbledon, and Roland Garros, they are all hosted in the same week, also the wheelchair tournament.
Wow.
So that's give us like a lot of like visibility, and also like a big goal, because I know that like I can go to compete in same stadium where like the best player able body can. So that's like really good, and I got lucky that like as a junior I was able to compete in the US Open. That's like has been a really good experience as a junior. So yeah.
Amazing. New York City.
Yeah, New York City.
Was that your first time in the United States?
No, it hasn't been my first time. I visited when I was younger, when I was like 6, 7 years old with my parents.
Sure.
But yeah, it was my second time on the States, and it's been a really good experience because after COVID and my first results were coming, I was able on 2023 to qualify for the US Open Junior draw, and again in New York was my first experience in a Grand Slam tournament. Like New York and the tennis facility, the stadium, were everything huge, and it's been a good tournament because I was also able to win quarterfinal, win the semifinal, and get in the final.
How about that?
And yeah, it's been a really good experience for like my first slam, and yeah.
Think about this, folks. This guy is the number 2 athlete from Italy in wheelchair tennis right now, ranked in the world. He's also a really highly regarded ranking in the national rankings of wheelchair tennis. To be able to compete at the U.S. Open in that competition, that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. And Coach Tyler was there too.
Yeah.
And he met you there.
Yeah, that's how like a couple months before that, I really like Coach Tyler.
The Alabama tennis coach.
The Alabama tennis coach texted me over Instagram, and we started to talk. And I didn't know much about adaptive programming in college, to be honest. I knew about like tennis, able-bodied athletics program around the U.S. because right now a lot of tennis players are moving to come to college in the U.S. because tennis is a really expensive sport. You need to travel, you don't have a team, so often if you see the like around 18, 19, you can have the level to one day compete, but maybe it's too early right now. You still need to develop yourself and things like that. A lot of people come to the US because you have free coaching and good like competition right now. So I knew that like a lot of able-bodied, but I didn't have many experience. Like I didn't know much about like adaptive athletics, and he showed me and explained me about Alabama adaptive athletics program, and I was like in love basically since the first moment, to be honest, because I mean it's amazing what we are doing over here, and how big the program is, and all the development they are having. And that's how like after months of talking, I also came here for like, my recruiting visit, and yeah, I chose to came here because it's amazing, like the facility and everything, all the opportunity we have, it's really good.
How big of a leap was that for you, and especially in conversations with your family, that you would make that jump to the United States and to Alabama?
So I mean,
that's a big move.
Yeah, it's been a big move, but at the same time, I was like in that situation when I was finishing my last year of high school. That some players, focus on tennis, just tennis, and drop their studies. But at the same time, I felt like I wasn't that sure that like I want to focus all my life on tennis, because if I get, I don't know, at 25 or 30, that like maybe I say, oh, I can't reach any higher level, or I get injured for any reason. My only way left in life was like be a tennis coach, which is a good job, but I didn't know if like I when I was 18, I wasn't sure if like is that what I want to do all my life. So I was like, no, I want to keep studying. I want to go to university, take a degree. But in the same time, right now in Italy, it's really hard to like play high level sport and keep your academic results really high, because there are not many like athletics programs. And so I was like trying to look away for like keep my sport at a high level and take a degree in the same time. And when I got this opportunity, I talked with my parents, and they were like, they supported me. I mean, I said it's a good way for take a degree. It's good for you keep doing what you like, so playing tennis. If you think it's the right way for you, we support you. And so that's how I chose to come over here.
Coming over here, joining a team with Martha and Max,
mm-hmm.
It's the three of you right now, but this is a program that has had a lot of success over the years.
Yeah.
What's the dynamic like between the three of you and with Coach Tyler during practice? Because having three people on a team, there's a lot of advantages to that, but it's also tough at times, I would imagine, too, to play against each other that much over the course of a season, or the course of practices.
Yeah, I mean, being free means smaller team. We can get closer to each other for
Sure.
sure, and it's good. But in the same time, I mean, the season is long. Sometimes just three people means a lot of match together.
Yes.
But since the first year, we got like a good relationship with my teammates, and we were able to perform pretty well last season, to be honest. Because I mean, we got undefeated all the season, so at the end, it's been a good choice to have like a good quality team more than like a big quantity. So we had like we're not that many, but like the quality is really good, and we're all good athletes. We all work hard for improve ourselves. So it's been a really good team last year, and I'm sure we will be a good team also this year.
Without a doubt. Last year it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Team national championship. I know Martha and you are both very active on the international circuit. Max won his individual championship this season,
Yeah.
which is a huge deal here just at our Alabama courts just a couple weeks ago. What are some of the things that have changed from what you thought it was going to be like here at Alabama?
Mhm.
Like during your recruiting visit, during that process up to starting your freshman year here,
Mhm.
and then now you're here in year two. Is there anything that is different than what you expected it to be? Or did you really not have any expectations?
I mean, I didn't have like I didn't have huge expectation. I was more like I'm gonna go there and see how it is and enjoy the time I will have here and work for what I want. So I didn't have huge expectation to be like I mean I didn't have like any good and any bad expectation, to be honest. I just like came here and worked for my studies and for tennis, and I'm really enjoying the time over here. Like I mean, team is great. I have a good roommates. I have a good team and a lot of good people around here. So I'm really enjoying the time over here.
It's one of the great things about this place. You have
Yeah.
everything you need
Mhm.
on this campus or within a couple minute drive
Yeah.
of this campus. Alabama has everything.
Yeah.
It really does, which is it's amazing. Hey, how have your parents influenced you in this move, and how has it been continuing to form yourself
Mhm.
in these years here, especially being so independent of them, being in a completely different country?
Mhm.
What is that like?
I mean, for sure, I get back home sometimes. I mean, I get back home for winter break and summer break, so uh, that's let me spend something like around 4 months per year back home, between 1 month during winter break and 3 months during summer. So I spend some time home, but I've always been really independent because since I started competing internationally, I was traveling already a lot, so spending a lot of time out of home. And growing up with both my parents working full-time job, uh, I've always been really independent. So I felt like not that part has been that hard, but yeah, I mean for sure they've been like a constant presence on my life before, so I miss them for sure. But at the same time, they always like growing me up to like find a way for like solve my problem and be independent. So I I feel pretty well on living by myself, and yeah.
What was the culture shock like going from Italy to Alabama?
There's been a lot. First thing is like how much people drive over here, and I'm used to like if I have something that like is I don't know, a mile from house, or like half mile from house, I walk there. I mean, I take my chair and walk. Over here, people drive for everything, and I don't know. There is no like supermarket that close. I mean, for us, we have like a little market store anywhere close home. Here, if I need to go to a big supermarket, I need to take a car. There is no other way. So that's for sure one thing. Another thing maybe is the AC. You guys have AC everywhere. Pretty
Yes.
strong.
Have
Yeah.
to here.
Yeah. I mean, I get used to that, but like, yeah, we are more like we open the window if we need more fresh
Oh,
air.
sure.
Yeah, or things like that. But yeah,
And those are two good things.
Yeah.
How about the food?
food, food is for sure that really different from home, and more expensive, to be honest.
I bet.
I live from like place where like I don't know, you can get a pizza for $5, and here it's
Might
maybe
be,
like
might get a slice for $5 some
yeah,
places.
exactly. So I mean, has been different for sure, but I get used to that. You know what I mean?
I think you've adapted so well.
Yeah.
You coming here, English being your second language, you had to take an English semester basically.
Yeah.
All just invested in language. You didn't even need it.
Yeah.
Last year you really didn't even need it, but you took the whole semester of that. You're an aerospace engineering major.
Yeah.
You're a national champion in your first year, a team national champion as well. First team All-American.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing in year one. What do you take away from all that?
I mean, for sure, it's been an amazing experience. I don't know, like like know what I can do and keep working for reach even higher results. That's what I like. Keep practicing, keep playing tennis, keep working hard for reach my dream and reach my goals.
What have you learned about yourself since you've been here? I would imagine it's been a lot of just discovering new things, obviously, but
yeah,
having to adapt through it all is huge.
I mean, for sure, I managed to like I learned how to manage more problem by myself, because for sure here, yeah, I have a super great coach that like if I have any problem, he's like super available to drive me anywhere or if I need anything. Same things with my roommates; they're all super available. Everyone has been super available, but at the same time, live by myself. So I mean, you need to manage things by yourself. If no, you don't get home and maybe someone cooked for you, you need to cook for yourself. Or
does Caden cook for you?
No.
No. Caden Bagley, one of his roommates,
yeah,
on the basketball team here. He's not a big cook though.
I mean, sometimes I cook for them if they're.
You cook for them a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
What do you cook?
Pasta.
Would you get the? You can't make your own pasta here though, right?
Yeah.
What brand do you go to?
I think Barilla.
Barilla. Barilla. If you're listening, we'll take a sponsorship.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. And yeah. But yeah, I learned that, and I also learned how to be, I think, more like an example for my teammates. I mean, I'm a freshman, for sure they're older than me, but sometimes, you know, take out a little bit more the pressure from them or help them during the hard moment, because I mean, I think I got a little bit as like example for them sometimes, or like as a, I don't know, you know, when you are like maybe the best player in the team, you're an example for them or a leader, and how to manage this pressure and how to help them manage the pressure they have on their match. So that's for sure something I learn, and I still need to improve on that as well.
How do you approach leadership?
I come from basically like tennis is an individual sport, so
yes.
It's not something that like I would say I'm used to, because I mean I'm used to manage my own pressure, my own feelings. I'm not used to worry much about teammates, because usually I don't have teammates. But it's for sure something that like is great to work on, because can help me for sure. Can help whoever is around me, but also help myself to develop a new skill and help myself as well. So yeah.
Hey, those are great things. I was thinking if you could go back, because a lot of things have changed for you in the last 6 years since you've started playing tennis. If you could go back to your and talk to your 2019 self, what would you tell him? He's got a wild ride in store.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, I went more farther like I could ever expect. I mean, I didn't even thought that I could end up being in Alabama, in the other side of the world, basically. Yeah, to keep working, to believe in myself, and yeah, that's all.
What are you most proud of?
I don't know, maybe to never give up, to always keep working, because I mean sometimes on an individual sport, on tennis, there are coaches who can push you, but most of like that comes from yourself. So never give up is most maybe the most things. Like also when I feel like I don't know, I can't improve in that particular aspect, never give up, keep working on that. So yeah, maybe it's the things I'm most proud of, like keep working, the strength on that.
Now, we all go through adversity,
Yeah,
whether it be in our sport, in our lives.
yeah.
Can you give us an example of a time that you went through adversity, whether it be in your sport or in your life, that you were able to overcome, and how you did that?
Okay. Looking back, I don't have this huge adversity because I was like grow up with my family to like kind of like if I have a problem, I just focus on each step to solve it,
Yeah.
and not focus on like I mean yeah the big picture there is for sure, but like if you have a big huge problem and you want to solve all in one day and all by yourself, you will never like it's like too big for you. So like focus on small things. So yeah, for sure, like being disabled and go through surgery when I got like through a spinal surgery when I was like when I was really kid, when I was really small, but like another one when I was like 13 and went out of school for a while and things like that. For sure, it's been hard, but just focus on the moment and what you can do in that moment has been like my the things that help me. Like don't focus on what you can't control.
Exactly.
Because you can't change it. Focus on what you can do that day for help the big picture, and yeah, that's all. Because I mean, I can't solve everything every time. I can do something for help it. I can do something for make it better, and I need to focus and do that. That's all.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
And it's true that God will give you what you need
Yeah.
to get through your situation. Yeah. And there's no use in applying tomorrow's problems to today's.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. You can't combine those things. You
Yeah.
can't apply a perspective of what you think your future is going to be to what you're living in today.
Yeah.
It's a gradual process.
Yeah, and for sure you need to have a plan to what to do tomorrow as well. But like what
That's
you
true.
need to, but focus on what you need
You
to do.
got to live
today.
in the moment.
Yeah, you need to focus what you need to do today, and yeah, and tomorrow you will focus on what you need to do tomorrow.
Do you get overwhelmed easily?
Yeah. No.
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 Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find it so remarkable, though.
Yeah.
All the new things that you've experienced,
Yeah.
and trying so many new things, coming to a completely different country for university, and not just doing well, but excelling in all facets. Has there ever been a time where you felt overwhelmed by your situation, like being here?
I mean, for sure, I miss home. I miss my girlfriend. I miss people that I have like back home, but I don't know. I mean, I'm more focused on what I want to do here. I want to graduate, take a degree, and I can go over basically everything if I'm high motivated. So I keep like my focus on my motivation and why I'm doing that, and that's basically all.
You mentioned your girlfriend Alice. She's been a huge source of support for you,
Yeah.
even from afar. She's
Yeah.
living in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
What has her support meant to you, even from a distance?
I mean, she's always been by my side. She always supports me on any decision. Has been hard when basically I choose to come over here. And yeah, not afraid to say that like I was scared because you know what I mean, like long distance and everything. But fortunately, she's great and she always supported me. She always been by my side, and yeah.
You two are tremendous pairing.
Yeah.
Tremendous pairing. Complement each other so well.
Thank you.
My final question for you today is, what do you want to be remembered for?
I mean, for sure to be a great person, first than anything. And yeah, I mean, for sure, right now in what I'm doing, I will try to get my best to be the best athlete I can. But I also think like be a good athlete means be also a good person. So I think like the two things are really high related. So yeah, be remembered as a good athlete and a good person. That's the two main goal.
Absolutely. Person all the time over athlete.
Yeah.
That's what sells. That's what we look for here at the University of Alabama. We want the right people. You can be a great athlete, but if you're not a good person, you're not going to be good on in a team environment, and you're not going to be somebody that people want to be around.
Yeah.
Truly, and that can stink from a mile away. Francesco, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
taking
me.
the time to join me today.
Sure.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you to you.
Keep up your great work, bud.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time on Game On.